So Grand Star Glow is a favorite pattern of mine because it's so simple. We're just doing half square triangles, 10 across and 10 down of the squares. And what I love about this quilt is that you can customize it as much as you want. We are selling the kit, and the kit gives you both colored versions depending on which kit you clarify. This is the glow, and this is the shine story. What you get in that is a bundle with the cream for the shine, and then you get this bundle for the glow, which is the quilt behind me. And then you get this nice deep blue, which is the center of the quilt. So when I build this quilt, I'm working on quadrants. You don't have to make your star blue. You could make it any of the colors because you have enough to play. You could make your center star red. You could focus on making your center star very grayed out. There's so many options because of the sky nuance ombre. But just to give you a little bit of idea of how I made this quilt, I knew I wanted to have a dark, very grounded center, and that's why we've added a little bit of this chalk and charcoal midnight. But then I wanted it to dance around. So I've got the cobalt blues, I've got the grays, I've got the teals. And then I go right into the secondary outline of the stars, like a big fat outline, and that's in yellows and peaches and prism. You know, you've got this beautiful prism fabric happening in here. So you have this literally nuance of lights bringing you around in a larger set star. And then when you look at the 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you see clearly that that top left quadrant is really greens and blues, a little bit of gray, a little bit of brown. You know how I love brown. And then this quadrant is more jewel tone. It's magenta and pansy and the grays and a little more brown. Then this bottom right corner is definitely the warm turquoise, the warm canyon, and there even some reds. And then this quadrant comes back to the teal, but more turquoise. You can also make this kit, which is the same pattern as behind me, and it's called the Shine colorway. See how pretty that is? Joseph Albers, I'm a big fan of. And this book, The Interaction of Color, was written over 50 years ago. And the methods and the idea of practice is how one learns about color and the relativity of color and the value changing as well, which is also the relativity of value. So with this Albers Log Cabin, what was so fun to focus on was here we have the pop of red in every center. But based on the color and the value that I put next to that red to start with, where we go the deep reds and then up to turquoise. And on this side, we have reds on reds. So the combination of how color looks when you have it be similar and analogous, and what happens with contrast going dark, and then contrast going light. And each block, I explore those ideas, and I explore with learning by doing. That's all Albers talks about, is learning by doing. And you have the opportunity to make each block, where here I use many, many dull colors, which lots of us would just throw them out, not want to work with them. But looking at how important these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors out of the 7 in this side of the block, they're so important for letting the bright green and the bright yellow and even the bright fuchsia shine. So having this be quiet, and other parts, like over here, how bright this is. You know, we all are happy using brights. It's easy to use brights, especially as quilters, but I'm challenging you to make sure you use those in-between grays, the dirty colors, the dark colors. ganging up the same color at a time. I've got all these navies right next to each other, and then this deep cranberry wine color. So in doing this, your quilt will be different when you make it. You will be cutting strips. This is not a copycat quilt. It's more of a playing with process of color and not thinking that, oh, I did red, now I have to do green, and now I have to do blue, and now I have to do yellow. Like, it's not about that. It's about putting similar colors together, like I talked about here. Like here, look at all these greens together. Two colors are the same, and then these are similar. And I do that a lot. This is all coming from just the Tiger Lily ombre. So I'm using the same ombre again and again and again and again, and the magic that that brings to your quilt. So take time to study the picture that you get with the quilt kit and take time playing. And if you don't like one block, move on to the next one. In a way, you can't go wrong. What I love about this border is I'm using the soft colors in Nuance. I'm using pearl, and I'm using shell and prism, and I'm using quartz. And all of those are very, very whisper lights. And how beautiful they look. And as a border, they have these brighter blocks kind of float on top. So this also comes with your kit, and it's really fun as a finish. So what excites me about this quilt is it is a pattern from my friend Denise Schmidt, and it's called My Sunshine Quilt. I call this one our Sunshine Quilt because we were so happy and thrilled to be collaborating with Denise Schmidt in doing a quilt along or sew along, whatever you want to call it, SAL, next spring 2025. And what's so fun about this quilt is it has that kind of classic God's eye or cat eye construction with the half square triangles, big, big, juicy pieces. And it's really a wonderful way to highlight the ombres, or you could mix your ombres with prints. Here is the quilt kit that you get. It has all 25 colors in 3rd yard cuts. And then you get your pattern, which shows this quilt as the cover. And on the other side, when you open up your pack, is Denise's original quilt that she did. So it's going to be a super fun quilt along because, again, the pattern's simple. It's the color, the value, and the contrast that you get to play with. So one of the cool things about this kit is it's not just Nuance. We're using 25 colors, and of the original ombre sky, and then the reflections ombre sky, and then of course the Nuance. Denise and I are going to be doing our quilt along in the spring 2025. So please join. My favorite quick project, perfect for gifts, is the ombre table runner. And we got a new colorway for you. It's Canyon. Beautiful colors, bright on this side, a little quiet on the other. You can make it in a day and it makes great Christmas gifts. The Bars quilt is really quick to put together because it's just a roll up and then color blocking on the top and the bottom. It's from my Ombre Quilts book. And then I want to show you, we have a robin's egg color story as well as a vintage white. Very, very different feel, fun to make, and a great beginner project.